You're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Isupk. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Macho. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week. You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadaria Allah, teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer 5000 Kazak Amaf, joined by Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, learn to speak in the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Kodash class, taught by Officer 1000 Katab. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom. Yabashim Shabakathum. Y'all Shamal Thumba Shimmy Shah to the sisters. What's going on, Israel?
Hold on with you, Shalom. Yabashim Shabakatah. Yahushua Hashem Yahushua. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And what we do is we teach Blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics, the truth about who they are, being, and this backup, what we back it up with is this Bible. We back it up with the Bible, something that your Christian pastor won't do. If you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth. You're in some fancy fairyland camp or something like that. Leave them, leave your churches, leave your what's it called that? The imams, the Muslims go through or whatever.
Right.
Stop practicing, cut down your Christmas tree, take them dumbass lights down, and get yourself right here in the ISUPK so that you too can know the truth.
God, and if I may, one of the most important things that you're going to learn from us in the ISUPK is your identity.
Yes,
who
sir.
you are. And another one of the most valuable things you can learn is, that you have enemies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's so important to understand that there's a people, that have hated you, since the inception of America. Yeah, I mean, from the inception of our nation being established, there has always been a people that have hated us. And in this history class, we're going to go through a little bit about the spirit and the characteristics of that enemy.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? There's a saying that goes, how do you fight an enemy that you don't know exists? You know what I mean? And for too long, because of things like Christianity, ideologies that God loves everybody and, turn the other cheek if somebody's abusing you. Mm-hmm. These certain ideologies that we learned here has taught us to be docile. You know what I mean? Like there's a scripture that Christ said, how do you enter into a strong man's house? You must first bind the strong man. What does that look like? To tie somebody up. You break into a house and you go after that man, the protection of that house, and you tie him down, that household has lost its protection. You understand? And not having a protection, not just as a household, but as a nation of people. We don't have strong Black men standing up, defending us from the people that have destroyed us. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to teach you in the ISUPK who that enemy is, how to battle that enemy. You know what I mean? And one of the ways you battle that enemy is with knowledge. You know what I mean? The Bible says knowledge is the stability of thy times. You don't have knowledge, you are going to be very unstable. Not going to be able to protect yourself. Not going to understand who your enemy is, who you should love, who you shouldn't love, who you should lay down with, who you shouldn't lay down with. You know what I mean? So like I said earlier, one of the most important things you're going to learn from the ISUPK is who you are, that you are an Israelite according to the Bible, that you have an identity, a language, a culture, and to understand that your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Right?
If I may, sir.
Yep, go ahead.
You know, and not only will we teach you who your brothers are, who your enemies are, right? We're going to teach you the proper way to defend yourself against your enemy, right? You got to understand your enemy has drones and bombs and tanks and things of that nature, right? And then we're going to debunk this Christian ideology that because you believe in Christ, you don't need no weapon, because all weapons formed against you shall not prosper, right? You got to understand, you got an enemy. Deuteronomy 28:68 says you have enemies, right? And you were sold unto your enemies as bondmen and bondwomen, right? So if you have enemies, you got to be able to protect yourself, right? Peter carried a sword. In John, what's that? 18:10, right? Could you put that, please? John 18:10, right? Peter had a sword. So he had, that means that as he walked with Christ, they had enemies. And these enemies, Peter had to keep that sword on. These enemies wanted to harm them. Your enemy wants to harm you. Your enemy is not your friend. Can you grab that John 18? You got that? Read.
This is the book of John, chapter 18, verse.
Slakia, can you hear Kahar, sir?
It's low. He's got to speak up or get a different mic.
Khan, this is the book of John, chapter 18, verse 10. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it.
Okay. So didn't Peter walk with Christ? Peter was Christ's right-hand man, and he kept that thing on him, right? Peter was Christ's right-hand man. He had to keep that thing on him, right? Go ahead.
And smote the high priest's servant.
And he used it. So he had the thing on him, and he used it, right? Understand this. Now, you know, today we don't walk around with swords. That's not our warfare. Your enemy is going to have all the latest technology, all the latest what you call it, all the latest weaponry, right? Because what the Bible say that Esau was blessed with the sword. Not to say that Esau is your only enemy, but just to bring out one. Name of this class is, you know, war is in your enemy's heart, right? That's the name of the class. Give me the
War is your enemy's history.
Yeah. War is your enemy's history. War is your enemy's history is in his heart. So think about what's going on today and think about what went on in the past, right? Sir?
John. Yeah, let me grab one more verse just on that topic. If you could grab our 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4.
Yeah, while he's grabbing that, sir, we got some things going on in this world today, but it's not like we haven't seen this before, Israel. All we have to do is prepare ourselves, right? And we'll get to that. But as of right now, you know, you got to understand you got an enemy, and your enemy is at constant war against you. His war doesn't stop. His war doesn't stop against you, for one, and then the tactics of his warfare, they change depending on where you're from, where you're at, and what assets that you can attain.
Right.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right. So a stronghold is something that has been fortified.
Yes,
right? Something that is strongly protected, has a very strong defense against it. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 5. Casting down imaginations.
Casting down imaginations. And this is exactly what we're going to do in this class today. You understand? Like, you know, how many times have I heard, you know, people outside the ISUPK say, oh, y'all are so militant. You know, when are you going to go and get guns? And get all this body armor and this and that. Well, Christ told us what our weapon was. You know what I mean? One of the things we do is we cast down imaginations, right? An imagination is an idea that you have in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? An idea that, black fatigue. I'm so tired of these black people fighting. I'm so tired of these ghetto ass niggas brawling in the streets, shooting up the neighborhood. That is an idea you have in your head when you walk down the street. A black man walking by some white people in a park. That image of that black man is he's about to rob somebody. He's somebody I should be afraid of. He's somebody I should fear. Or what are you doing in our neighborhood, Trayvon Martin?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those are imaginations, and because of these things, we end up dead.
If I may, sir.
Right, go ahead.
But then you got to look on and pun intended, the bright side, right? Now you got to look on the bright side of it. Is that white face is so lily and pure. That's why 9 parishioners were killed in the church. You see what I'm saying? Because that white face was so pure and innocent, and this dude got a backpack full of guns that's going to wipe everybody in here out. Right? Think about every mass shooter just of late. We won't go back too far. Just the ones that happened, within the last 2-3 months that you heard about.
They are
Who were these mass shooters? I haven't seen one brother with the arsenal of these mass shooters personally. Maybe a Tazarat. No, but but I haven't seen a brother that has the arsenal of these mass shooters. Whenever they go up into these mass shooters, after the shooting, they go up into the house.
Right.
They didn't even take only took a small percentage of the weapons that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your oppressor and your enemy has vehicles with 50 caliber machine guns mounted to the top of them that shoot 3,000 rounds a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You can clear a forest with that?
Mm-hmm.
And you gonna go up against your enemy with a pistol? See ya.
Yeah, like it's so heavy what you're saying, and that list goes so deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can take a white police officer, you think he's a hero.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You take the white president, you take the white man in a suit and tie. We have this imagination that they're so docile and innocent when they are the most murderous race of people that have ever existed on this earth. You know what I mean? And he goes as far as to say, or let me put it this way, we go as far as to think as a people that he's even God himself. We think he's Jesus Christ, God on earth, walking the earth. And it's because of these images that we're so destroyed, that lack of knowledge. You understand? So, we get into some of these articles today, like it's so crystal clear who the devil is. It's so crystal clear who the murderers of this earth are. You know what I mean? Like they've colonized over 180 countries. I think there's like 230 countries in total.
Yeah.
And 30 of those countries are probably some small little island, you know what I mean, that nobody's ever heard of.
Well, it's going to be 181 when they finish with Venezuela.
They will not stop. You know what I mean? And so we really need to understand who the devil is, understand who the murderers of this earth are. Change the image, of a black man, in our minds. Like there's so much destruction in our community that we even, look at ourselves like we're the murderers. We look at ourselves like, we're the people that are overly not aggressive. What's the word? Just criminals. I'll use that word. We look at ourselves as criminals and gangbangers right from the time we're 8-9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We start playing the part, following the what we see in the music industry. following what we see on the media and taking on that culture as if that's really black culture. There's a statistic I hear all the time how black people, commit all the crimes. Isn't there like 40 million, so-called African Americans in America? And you have maybe 3,000 shootings in the year? And it's like, so you're telling me over 97%, 98%, damn, 99% of African Americans are law-abiding citizens. But they portray us as criminals. We believe that bullshit. You know what I mean? So
it's called propaganda, sir.
Absolutely. So we gotta cast down those imaginations. You understand? Those are our weapons. Knowing the truth. The truth that's on the earth. It's the most powerful thing, according to God, on this earth, is to know the truth. You know what I mean? That's what we teach here in the ISUPK. So let's if you got anything else to hobble on, we can get into these articles.
Not at the present time. Some things that I want to bring up, but I want to hop into these articles too, sir.
Yeah, let's grab the what is it? The attack on the Capitol.
Hey, I wanted to go there first anyway.
Yeah.
You have to understand, the greatness, the great white hope has left, is fighting against his own America. You didn't get it? Yeah, I thought, okay, cool. Yeah, you got it. Right. Understand this is that you've heard of black on black crime. You got to say it like the Christian pastor, sir. You heard of black on black crime. But this is, America on America crime. Understand is that when the North went against the South, that was white on white crime. That Confederate flag is a representation of white on white crime that we got involved in. These people rushing the Capitol, some more white on white crime. And then guess what? We get involved in it.
Right.
Like Captain Tazariak said, you should when this went down, you should have been sitting on the couch, eating your popcorn, having you a beer. Right. When these folk go against each other, like the way that they do, we should be sitting on the couch, eating our popcorn, having a brew. If you don't drink brew, have you a glass of wine. If you don't drink wine, have a juice, soda, some water, but get you some popcorn. But get you some popcorn. Yeah, go ahead and put that on there.
And if I could add, like, even think about the inception of America. Like, you had what was it called? The Confederate fighting the British.
Yeah, the Confederate flag.
Right. Think of all the white on white crime that has existed from the inception of America. You know what I mean? Like, these people will murder themselves. You know what I mean? There's so much blood in their heart that they will go to war against each other.
Yes, sir.
Like it's nothing.
If I may, sir.
Yep.
What is usually the description of a thug? Right?
Let me pull it up.
The description usually a thug, probably, some dude walking down the streets, pants hanging down, you know what I'm saying? T-shirt, hoodie, or something like that, some jeans on, doing some type of ruckus. That's the definition of a thug, right? Pause it right there.
Yeah, pause it. Let me read this, Abawan. Right, this is the exact definition of a thug: is a violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal.
Okay, now has it been proven that every single one of these people that ran up into the Capitol that they're criminals? Right? What do criminals have? Criminals have felony charges against them, misdemeanor charges against them. They were charged with inciting the riot and running up in the Capitol. Those are felony and misdemeanor charges. Yes or no?
God, pause that, car.
Yeah. Destruction of property.
Like, go back to that, car. And I'm so glad you keep replaying that. Is this not the definition of a thug right here?
Look at it. You see his draws. You see his drawers, right? He got a weapon trying to break a window. I think that's a thug.
Right. Violent and aggressive.
I think that's a thug.
And don't just watch him. Look at the woman on his side.
Support. That's thug support right there.
She don't got a problem with that shit either.
Now pause, sir. Now, it was another article. I'm trying to find it. They said that when they got into the Capitol, they started getting high, drinking and smoking and using drugs. You know, who is not to say, you know, think about this. When those type of people, you know, those people do certain things. You understand? There's always drugs and sex, and they gotta take a crap somewhere. I don't understand how you put all that together. Drugs, sex, and doo-doo. And so there's reports that they were doing some you know, how do you say, defiling the Capitol in many different ways.
And don't they always say, Habawan, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with protesting, you know, but why do you guys have to go around breaking things?
Yes.
Isn't that what they say about black people?
Yes. Yes.
Black Lives Matter, as Black Lives Matter are quote unquote protesting no justice, no peace. All the president keeps saying is, oh, if you guys could just, you know, do it peacefully. Why do you guys have to break everything when you protest? Why do you have to damage all the storefronts and vandalize the city? Just peacefully protest.
I think I got an answer.
Come on, go ahead.
The Bible says that, and I'm paraphrasing, that you are of the devil, your father, right? What do you think devils do? Now, we understand that devil is what? It means deceiver. Right. So these deceivers are now, right? Think about it. They tell us, why can't we do it peacefully? We learn from you. We can't do it peacefully. We can't peacefully protest because you can't peacefully protest. If you think about peaceful protests, look at the what was that? Pull up the when you get a chance, Kahar. Christopher Addis. I think is Christopher Addis, the Boston Tea Party. Think Christmas. Was it Christmas? His last name? Yeah. Think about this. They were so-called peacefully protesting, right? This brother got involved with the Boston Tea Party. Think about it. Every time we get involved with something that they do, one of us immediately gets hurt. Okay. You want to touch on this, sir? Can we touch on that real quick later on?
Yeah. You want to jump into it next? Or?
Yeah, we can jump into it real quick. You got anything else about this?
Man, just again that image. You know what I mean? Like, I truly pray that, you know, Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous really, you know, understand this. You know what I mean? Even as we get throughout the class, like, that image is so ingrained in the minds of Americans. You know what I mean? So ingrained in us that we're less than. You know what I mean? Like, as far to the point that, like, they named us.
Look at that. You're getting high. They're getting high in the Capitol.
Right. Like, they named the North American Indians savages. You know what I mean? How many times they tell a black man, well, if it wasn't for slavery, you know, you people would still be uncivilized, swinging off trees in Africa. Like, they really taught us, man, such a diabolical lesson here, that they're the civilized people, and we really believe that.
Oh man, hold on, play the sound to it. I want you to hear what he said. Right, play the.
On January 6th, rioters caused around $3 million worth of damage.
He said rioters caused what? He said rioters, not thugs.
$3 million worth.
$3 million. If you, what is
rioters on January 6th?
Let me get that. What is the difference between home invasion and breaking and entering? right? The difference is breaking and entering and home invasion. Home invasion is somebody's in the house when you go in, right? And it carries a stiffer sentence. We got to check see if we got some comments online. It carries a stiffer sentence. So you can break in somebody's house, and depending on what your record is, you get a quick 2 to 5. Home invasion, right? You get in there and there's somebody there. It started off at a 10-piece.
You want to you can get those comments, Car.
Nashai Gabar. Shalom, how about Shema Shabakatah?
Shabakatah, priest.
Yeah, from Saginaw,
From Sag Nasty.
Princess Noah.
Shalom, princess.
Oh, that's your name, sir.
Good.
He did this. He just went to the other room. Shalom, princess. Like,
Sister Aisha B'Nah.
Shalom, sis. Shalom.
Shalom, sis.
So,
Chris.
Real quick, jump into that Christmas addicts. If you're done with this, sir. Matter of fact, no, no. I want to hear the commentary of the video.
Oh,
because I want you to hear them say, "We in here getting high."
Man.
Go ahead, please, if I may. Rioters caused around $3 million worth of damage to the U.S. Capitol.
This is our house! Let us in!
These videos all came from exhibits presented by prosecutors in court. At NPR, we reviewed thousands of these videos, and they show how people didn't just smash windows and doors to storm the building. They also used the riot to steal stuff.
Yo, take laptops, paperwork, take everything. Hey, help yourselves, guys.
Man.
It's on the house. It's on the house.
Don't that
thieves just
take everything.
Criminals, man.
Thieves,
murderers, thieves, violent, aggressive, man. And even after watching this, I bet you so many people are gonna say, "Oh, it was just the Capitol. It was just one time." That's not really who they are.
Do I need to get Judge Mathis up here to say that these people are dope fiends?
Man.
You're a crackhead. Go ahead and play that.
And party.
Three smoke in the Capitol, boys.
One rioter told me it was like a bunch of frat bros stormed the Capitol. People smoked and got drunk and high.
Oh, we're smoking weed in the fucking time to smoke weed in here.
The damage was not just inside the building.
He said,
like,
outside.
I gotta ask, like, what is going through your head to think I'm gonna break in just so I can get high? As if you've accomplished something.
You gotta have, and you got to be a dope fiend to think that way.
Man.
You gotta have a celebratory blunt.
What did Carr say?
I was gonna say, it sounds very Roman. I mean, just the whole thing. It sounds like one of their festivals that they used to partake.
It's a frat party. What are frat? Greek, right? That's what they do. They've been doing this, right? Your oppressor has been at war since it's come. What's the scripture say? What God has made crooked, who can make straight?
Okay.
Right. So if he has war in his heart, right? He has war in his heart. And with him having war in his heart, it doesn't satisfy him to just watch a football game on TV or watch a basketball game on TV, right? It doesn't, watch some MMA or some boxing. That doesn't satisfy his bloodlust. He has to go out there, commit war, unalive, destroy, and get high. Because I'm finished. That's the final thing. I'm finished. I'm getting high. Go ahead.
Rioters destroyed cameras from the media.
Fucking traitors! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
What does the media do? The media is not there to take sides. The media is there only to do what? Record the event. How are they traitors recording the event? The media hasn't arrested anybody, hasn't told anybody to stop doing what you hasn't told anybody to stop doing what you're doing, right? They haven't told anybody to stop doing what they're doing, right? They haven't got in the way of them to continue taking over the Capitol. Well, all they did was film, record, and document the event, and they're traitors. That's because your oppressor, right? Your oppressor, if you're not following his lead, if he doesn't have control of everything and every aspect of you, you are a damn traitor. Think about this. What's the term for when slaves, they wanted to escape? When the slaves wanted to escape, it's a term they deemed them, it was almost like imbecile or something like that.
Well, there was a term where they had
that they used
saying we had a mental disorder.
They named it a mental disorder because slaves wanted to be free.
Yeah, let me see if I look that up real quick.
Slaves wanted to be free.
It was called drapetomania.
Drapetomania.
Yep. Yep.
Drapetomania. I'm gonna pull the definition of that real quick, right? This is drapetomania. Drapetomania was a proposed mental illness that in 1851, American psychologist Samuel A. Cartwright hypothesized as the cause of enslaved Americans fleeing captivity. Think about this. You was called an American. They called you an enslaved American. Who were enslaved Americans? Niggas.
Okay.
Right? If white people wanted to be derogatory, they could say, "Hey, enslaved American." That's probably safer than the nigger. Right? It says the hypothesis was based on the belief that slavery was such an improvement upon the lives of slaves that only those suffering from some form of mental illness would wish to escape. So you wish to escape the beatings, the sexual assaults, their family being ripped apart and sold. Right. One thing we didn't get into, we haven't got into, but we probably should, was you guys just, not you guys, people in America just celebrated New Year's. Do you understand that New Year's was one of the days where they sold your ass in mass numbers, and you out there, yay, living it up, and your family is going to be ripped apart and sold in this America? And that's why the white man celebrates New Year's. Right? It's right alongside of Black Friday, because your brothers and sisters were annihilated. And that's why the white man celebrates Thanksgiving. Every one of this oppressor's celebrations, right, commemorates when he utterly tried to destroy you off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Let's grab the next article if we can.
Come on, sir. Want to grab that is real quick. We can breeze through that. That's gonna be real quick.
Well, what's this man's name again? Crispus Attucks.
Read that first paragraph right there.
The life of Crispus.
No, the intro to it.
Crispus Attucks, a sailor of mixed African and indigenous ancestry.
So understand, he was Black and Native American. So he was Judite in one of the tribes. Could have been a Gadite. One of his mother and his father comes from the 12 tribes. Continue.
Died in Boston on March 5th, 1770. after British soldiers fired 2 musket balls into his chest. That of 4 other men at the hands of the 29th Regiment became known as the Boston Massacre. Death instantly transformed addicts from an anonymous sailor into a martyr for a burgeoning revolutionary cause.
Now, what was this burgeoning revolutionary cause? What was it? What was this urgent and important revolutionary cause? It dates back to the Boston Tea Party, sir. They putting tax on tea, right? Which we ain't have control of. Understand? This is in the 1700s. When what's going on in the 1700s? Slavery in America.
Yeah.
Slavery in America. 1776 was the Constitution written, right? Yeah. So this was slavery of America. So this man was a soldier, right? He was unalived for what? Soldiering, being a soldier here in America. Because this soldier wanted to help with the oppressors doing. Now, if you read the story about the Boston Tea Party, you understand Britain putting tax on America and all this other stuff, and they were throwing tea into the water. They got to throwing tea into the water. It went from throwing tea into the water to Christmas addicts getting shot in the chest with 2 musket balls. Black folk, don't get involved with your oppressor's war, because you're going to be the casualty of war. You are going to be the casualty of war if you get involved with your oppressor's war. Right? That was it on that one, sir.
If you could grab the Wikipedia on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Now I gotta ask you a question. Is it Hiroshima or is it Hiroshima?
I believe Hiroshima. I could be saying it wrong.
Yeah, because I've heard it both ways. And this, and what people don't understand about the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is that the U.S. was at war with Germany, right? The U.S. was at war with Germany. They could have easily dropped this bomb on Germany. The bombs. They could have easily dropped these bombs on Germany. You got something?
Sir, I was just gonna say this was a retaliation for the Pearl Harbor.
No, that's what they said it was for, right? They said it was retaliation of Pearl Harbor. Think about this. They hit Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor wasn't a city. Pearl Harbor was just a military base, right? They hit Japan hit a military base. The United States destroyed the lives of innocent individuals, right? Why not attack another military base?
Now, think about this. You have Pearl Harbor, right? That happens. And I believe it was an estimate of like 2,000 soldiers that were unalived.
These were soldiers. These were men that signed up for battle.
Right. And they say that this was one of the events that led to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which I believe in the timeline happened about 4 years later.
If I may, sir.
Yep.
Think about this. Pearl Harbor was one attack. Pearl Harbor was one attack. So you go and kill tens of thousands of people in 2 separate cities because of Pearl Harbor. You talking about a little kid wanting his lick back. Man, you know, little kids get into a fight and I want my lick back. You hit me, I hit you, right? Your oppressor doesn't think like that, Israel. Go ahead, Carr.
I was gonna say, Barakatha Yahweh for this history class, because that was definitely, I'm remembering my, brainwashing in the oppressor school, and that's kind of how they frame it. You know what I mean? Like they frame it like that happened, and then they went right back to bomb them.
Yeah, they went right back. It's similar to how they bombed these fishing boats, and now they captured the president of Venezuela.
Right. Now understand this, Ka'ar. Grab us Psalms 55 and 22. Right? Because it's on that point. And Habawan touched on this scripture earlier. But it's so important. Like, again, understanding the weapons that we have, we got to cast down imaginations. You know what I mean? Like, you're taught in history class, that, basically it's framed as the white man is so peaceful and loving, and he has the right to defend himself. And he'll justify his war like, he is the greatest victim on the earth. Right? Go ahead and read that, Car.
Khan out of Khan. This is the book of Psalm 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Damn right.
Smoother than butter. Like that's exactly what he'll have you believe. 9/11 happens. You know what I mean? Pearl Harbor happens. And he's just this innocent bystander who had to defend America, had to defend them from the evils and the terrorists that were coming on American soil. His words were smooth. Keep reading.
But war was in his heart.
Now God's telling you what is truly in this man's heart. What Europeans really think about. They have war in their heart. That's how that is the only answer, the only conceivable answer that you could grasp to understand how somebody can unalive 2,000 people, and that can motivate you to detonate the first nuclear bomb on this earth. Nobody has ever been bombed by a nuke before.
You know what that is, sir? That is me stepping on your shoe and you shoot my house up.
More than your house, Abuan. Like you're being so kind when you say that.
Being so kind.
That is you stepping on my shoe and me going to all 100 cousins. You know what I mean? Hunting down your family, your kids, your kids' kids, and your kids' kids, and anybody who lived on the same block as you.
Yeah,
like the numbers. Let's read that article, and I'm actually gonna just look up the ratio.
Times you know like 240,000 people, right?
Let's read it.
God, this is atomic bombers at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On 6 and 9 August 1945, the United States detonated 2 atomic bombs over Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively, during World War II. The aerial bombings killed 150,000 to 246,000, most of whom were civilians, and remain the only use of nuclear weapons in an armed conflict. Japan announced its surrender to the Allies on August 15th, 6 days after the bombing of Nagasaki, and the Soviet Union's declaration of war against Japan, an invasion of Manchuria.
Now, check this out. I went to do the math. One. That is a 11,900% increase from 2,000 people being unalived in Pearl Harbor to them bombing an entire Japanese city.
Almost broke Japan in half. You think about it. Japan's an island, right? Their people are over there still. Do we got any? We should have brought up an article about the effects of radiation that's still going over there in Japan from the nukes that were dropped.
I think they're just now starting to put people on that island. I think I had read that a couple years ago.
Yeah, so you got to understand this is that they dropped You hit Pearl Harbor during the war, right? Think about this. Japan hit Pearl Harbor, which is a military base, during a war, right? And then America kills babies, right? Unalive school teachers, right? Unalive. Think about it. You probably had some Christian pastors over there. Don't you Christians feel for your Christian pastors that was bombed in Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
Mm-hmm.
You had your fellow brother and sister Christian pastors over there because they trying to spread the gospel.
Do you remember Habawan, the Toni Morrison, who wrote the Bluest Eye book?
I never read it.
So she had I wonder if I could pull that video up in this class. Maybe I can get that to Kaar really quick. But I remember her sitting there in an interview, and as she's doing the interview and speaking on her book, she was speaking on how she couldn't understand as a mother, right? This is a sister. How she couldn't understand as a quote unquote African American woman, how European women could watch a school bus of black kids be blazed and set on fire. Like, she couldn't understand as a mother with children. You know what I mean? How, as a European woman, you could be okay with setting a school bus of little children on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She spoke on that. And it's so hard for blacks to understand just how evil these people truly are.
You know why?
Like, it's so hard to grasp what these people are capable of. You know what I mean? And part of that weakness that we have as blacks, indigenous, and First Nations people is how compassionate we are as a people. Like, we could never truly understand the minds of a European because we don't have that evil in our heart.
You know what I think it is, sir?
Come on, go ahead.
I think it is that because we follow a culture and they are in tune with nature. Let me explain to you. A lion does not kill a zebra because it doesn't like it. It kills it because it likes it. It likes the way it tastes, right? So understand is that these people, our people have to understand is that these people not killing us because they don't like us. They killing us because they like the way we taste. Just like the lion. Because this is in their nature to unalive the 12 tribes. It's in their nature. They have that bloodlust, right? With having that bloodlust, they have to take it out on somebody. If the oppressor cannot kill and unalive the 12 tribes, he will turn to his own home and unalive people in his own home. You've seen it. You've seen him do it. You here, look at the Menendez brothers, their own mother and father, right? And you have multiple stories about the oppressor turning his bloodlust into those of his own home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we have to, as a people, understand if this person will unalive his grandmama and his auntie and his cousin,
mm-hmm.
You don't have a chance. You don't have a snowball's chance in the house on a 90-degree day.
Yeah.
That he won't unalive you.
I would, I was just thinking about this. Like, I would love to get the total death toll
of
people that Europeans have unalived. Like that number has to be so diabolical. Like, I just think alone you have over 70 million North American Indians that were unalived. You know what I mean? Like you look up historically, you know, they speak on how when they first came to America, there was something like 10 million indigenous people. And once they were done unaliving, that number was down to like 300,000.
But look at this.
Like you understand what mass genocide is? Right? Go ahead, Hubble.
7 million. 77 million, right? Think about this. So they tell you it was only 10 million. So if it's only 10 million, how did they unalive 77 million? It was probably hundreds of millions of Native Americans living inside the New World. That's what they call it at the time, the New World. Living inside the New World. And then they dwindled them down to 300,000 people. Right? Because we know the millions that went down during the Trail of Tears, and the millions that went down during the transfer to these what do they call them, reservations, right? Reservations were worse than the concentration camp that your small hat claimed he visited for a couple of years, right?
And check this, right? Here's another example of that. These imaginations that we have, or their words being smoother than butter. They'll tell you that after they committed mass genocide, which led to the Trail of Tears, you know what they're going to teach you in history? They're going to teach you that indigenous people took their black slaves with them on the Trail of Tears.
So you trying to tell me an oppressed people had slaves?
God.
Does that make sense? So you are unaliving and oppressing the Native Americans, and they got slaves. You know what I do? If I was a Native American and I had some slaves, and this oppressor comes over, I'll tell my slaves, kill him, and you're free. And you know what you would have had? You would have had the what they call it, the war, America against the South, North America against Civil War. You would have the Civil War all over again. Right? The Civil War would have started there at the Trail of Tears. Right? You see what our brothers and sisters did at the Alamo. Right? We see what we did at the Alamo. So you're trying to tell me that you can't do this in other tribes, and then other Native Americans didn't communicate to other tribes like, hey, we got to get together, get this white man, this pale face up out of here.
Right. And a Hubble one. Don't white people love to say that not all white people had slaves?
Yep.
I thought the poor white people couldn't own slaves, but yet the poor Native Indians, they were slave owners.
Now look at this, sir. Understand, America is one of the most powerful and richest countries on the globe, correct? Correct? So with America being one of the most richest and powerful countries on the globe, and it's all stolen power and riches because the Native Americans, the indigenous people, our brothers and sisters, were here first, right? And then they were let's say they were I'm not going to say they were unalived and pushed off the land. Right? Very prosperous area. Think about the financial backing that our people would have if we were never taken over by the oppressor. Right? That means that America, the indigenous people of America, will be the most powerful people in the world. That sounds like rulership to me. Isn't that what we teach in the ISUPK? Rulership. So understand is that if just say if our people would not have sinned against our God, right, we would be on top of the world right now. We will be in rulership right now. And with us being in rulership, it says when the what does it say? When the meek is in,
righteous are in authority.
Yeah.
Rejoice.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So if you want to rejoice, America as a whole, lift up the 12 tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Lift up the 12 tribes. When you see the brothers out there, when you see them UPK brothers out there on the streets teaching, reach in your pocket and fill them buckets up. And after you fill the buckets up, get down on your knees, kiss some boots. Once you put some money in that bucket, kiss some boots, then we'll look at you as like you are one of the good ones.
Mm-hmm. If I could, really quick, there's a brother from Toronto. I just want to get his question answered really quick, brother. So this brother's asking. He's Puerto Rican, and he's wondering what tribe he's from. So the Puerto Ricans, in large, are from the tribe of Ephraim.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I know this brother's father is Puerto Rican.
Oh, woo. Let me.
Yeah, yeah. So he's a brother.
All right, cool. He ain't from the 13th tribe.
God, yeah, he's a brother. So the Puerto Ricans, they are in majority from the tribe of Ephraim. All right. Something you can look up, on your own time is just look up the all the stones that they found in Puerto Rico with Hebrew writing. That's a good place to start. I think look up. It's called like the 1800 ancient stones found in Puerto Rico, something like that. So, yeah, that's a good thing to check out, brother. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going on these articles.
What we got? Let's see.
Oh, grab there was a thing from Brown's University. Let me see. The Brown University International and Public Affairs. Did you get that article?
Yeah, you talking about the one that started off human, cost the war?
Con. And if you could, Habawan, grab what is that? Ezekiel 35:5.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and read that, Car.
Khan out of Wakan, this is the cost of war. By Brown University, it says the cost of war research examines the human toll of U.S. military operations and spending for U.S. service members, veterans, military contractors, and allies, and for civilians killed and displaced. An estimated over 940,000 people were killed.
Damn. Read that again, Car.
An estimated over 940,000 people were killed by direct post 9/11 war violence in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, and Pakistan between 2001 and 2023.
So this is a result of 9/11. 940,000 people because of what happened in 9/11.
I got something interesting about 9/11, sir. If I could bring it up.
Man, everybody has something interesting about 9/11.
If I could bring it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ever chop down a tree?
Con.
You chop down a tree, right? And where does that tree fall from? At that cutting point, right? At the impact, right. You impacted with the X.
Right.
My background is engineering.
Con.
And it takes a lot to hit a building in the middle and the top doesn't fall off.
Con.
But if you want to bring it straight down, you set bombs and you cut beams. That's all I wanted to say.
God. Yeah, I don't know UPK's official stance on that.
Yeah, that's mine. That's not UPK. That's engineering 101.
Hey, so like, I'll add one. I've been in construction a long time, and if you've ever seen them demolish buildings, like when they blow those buildings up, they come straight down.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But the UPK, we're not conspiracy theorists. Just these are just some observations by, just some men.
There are some things that happen in the United States that we can't explain.
But so now think about this. If you could, pull up how many people have been said to be unalive from the 9/11 attack.
I think it's right around 3,000.
I think so.
So understand, more people died in 9/11 than Pearl Harbor. Right? And understand that not only did more people die in 9/11 in Pearl Harbor, think about this. When other countries attack America, they attack military bases. Military bases.
Right.
But you got to understand is that pale face, that devil, he goes into and attack, he attacks innocent bystanders. Look what Putin did in Iran and Ukraine.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
That devil, he attacks innocent bystanders, right? He doesn't hit a military base and that's it. Nope. Because his plan is to wipe you out completely, right? Oppress the rest of the individuals that are there and profit off of your land.
You know something on that same point. I'll never forget this interview. There was an interview of some Jewish people about the war over in Israel and Palestine, and one of the things that the, I guess, Israeli representative had said was, they were basically calling the Palestinian savages because they were putting women and children inside of military bases so that the Israelis wouldn't bomb them, thinking that if there's women and children here, this is the idea. Palestinians are thinking if women and children are here, maybe the Jewish man won't bomb us. And that Israeli representative said, well, if they would just stop putting the women and children on these military bases, then we wouldn't be unaliving them. And I always remember my immediate thought was, why wouldn't you just not bomb them then? Look, if you know women and children are there.
If I may, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
When what was that, 95, 96, when the United States went to war with Iraq, they dropped a bomb on a school, on a matter of fact, on a playground that was near a school, unaliving children, right? They kill it. That devil will kill innocent people that has. Think about this. You a 9-10-year-old boy. What happened to those Iraqi children when that bomb hit that playground was similar to the same thing you've seen in Chicago when Tamir Rice was gone down playing playing inside the park by himself. You playing, and next thing you know, the police officer pulled up. They said less than 2 seconds after the police officer pulled up, he fired his round and unalived Tamir Rice. You got kids running down a sliding board in Iraq, right? Not knowing a bomb is coming out the damn sky to blow them into the next park.
Yeah, that video is hard to watch, and it's like there's so many occasions. Well, the last video I saw, there was some white woman who ran over a police officer, and the police officer yelled out, "Don't shoot her! Don't shoot!" And I remember thinking, like, so you can, you know, have attempted murder on a police officer's life, but because you're white, you're some innocent white woman, the police are going to show mercy and compassion on you. But you're a little boy with a toy gun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not even a thought to shit. You could have ran the kid over, bumped him with your car, if you thought he had a gun and was about to shoot you. I don't know. You could have done so many other things. You know what I mean? Like, I remember that school shooting in I think it was in Houston or something.
Mm-hmm.
The police officers wouldn't go into the school because they were afraid of getting shot. They wouldn't go in there to defend the kids because they were so afraid of that gun. If this police officer was so afraid of Tamir Rice, why'd you fucking drive off?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, do something. Call for backup.
Salakia, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
I mean, it's a similar story that's parallel to that. I don't know if y'all remember, but I think it was last year or earlier 2025 where those two 12-year-old white boys had a real gun.
A shotgun and an AK-47, wasn't it?
I think it was a pistol, sir. And they cornered them. And they had them cornered. And he had it in his hand. The little boy had it in his hand. They might have been like 8 actually. And he had it in his hand. He was swinging it around.
I do remember that one. They was behind like a couch or something like that and standing up in the backyard. Yeah.
And the police had so much restraint for these kids when they just waving a gun around, a real gun that they knew was loaded. and them two white boys survived that situation.
Well, if
I could really quick, did
Please.
those kids let off any bullets?
No, they did.
So now check, and the reason I asked that is because it was this year. This year there was a video of a man who was walking down the freeway with a rifle, and that man unloaded on the police officers, and they did not take his life. Like, he was shooting at the cops,
but
he didn't want to give up his rifle.
But look, George Floyd only had a fake $20 bill, allegedly. Then it came out. The manager said, "Oh, the $20 bill is real."
But he's a drug addict, Ahabawan.
Oh, he's a drug addict with a $20
Getting high inside of the Capitol.
To the store. Okay.
Getting high in the Capitol with his feet on whose ever desk.
So, excuse me. A 250-pound man with his, knee on your neck, it doesn't stop you from breathing? No, it doesn't. Heroin does. Yeah, right. But to go back to what you're saying, it was a 12 and a 14-year-old girl, 12-year-old boy in Florida had a shotgun, and the other one had an AK-47, and they were firing at the police. Right? They were firing at the police. The police said, "We're going to wait till they run out of bullets before we take them down." I'm going to give you one guess of what people they were. Oh, that's the story right there, right? Want to pull one of them stories, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just so people understand that what we're talking about is real, right? These are things that happen to, the things that happen to other nations don't happen to us, right? We can't get away with the same thing, right? Think about it. You had a white man walk into a bank and rob the bank. And then as he's leaving out the bank with the money, he lays on the ground. He end up with a job. Go ahead.
armed with a loaded gun.
Put it down for me, okay? You're not in trouble, but you have to drop that. And
Drone footage shows a 9-year-old boy hiding the gun behind his back. His 7-year-old brother tries to grab it. Then the boys start fighting over the loaded weapon.
Drop it, buddy. Put it down, babe.
The 7-year-old boy takes possession.
It's okay. You're not in trouble, buddy.
Deputies continued calling out orders to the boys, desperately trying to stop a tragedy
This video
from
is
happening.
Can you put it down for me?
Damn.
The boys, wearing Minecraft and Star Wars themed pajamas, are in their neighborhood.
Pause. They're wearing Minecraft and Star Wars pajama. This is what innocence looked like to you in America, right? Where the hell a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old get a pistol from, for one, right? Understand they're locking up black folk left and right for leaving guns unattended when children get a hold to them and harm somebody with it. Where are their parents? Where are their parents locked up? They have a police standoff. This 9-year-old and this 7-year-old have a police standoff, right? The police saying, oh, hey, put the gun down, put the gun down. The police could have just said, hey, put the gun on top of the box and walk away. Or if it had been one of our 9-year-olds and 7-year-olds, we'd have been planning a funeral for those children. What'd you say, Carr? Yeah.
What did Carr say? I couldn't hear.
So, like I said, they would have put one of our kids down.
Yeah, in a second.
With Tamir Rice.
God.
Albuquerque. Officers decide it's time to fire a non-lethal rubber bullet. It's a perfect shot, landing right between the brothers. But watch, the 9-year-old responds by raising the gun and taking aim at the deputies. Officers say he actually pulled the trigger. Thank goodness the gun malfunctioned. Another rubber bullet is fired, and this time the deputies are able to move in as the boys try to hide.
Drop it now.
I don't even have the gun.
Deputies yank the gun away and take the brothers into custody as 7 officers swarm. I spoke to Sheriff John Allen.
So, I don't even have a gun.
If I may, he knew how to use that gun.
Yes.
That little boy knew how to use that gun. 2 hands, he had perfect form, arms extended. Like he was, and this goes to the topic. You know what I mean? They teach their kids young how to work these weapons.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? They know how to hunt and kill things. You know what I mean? So at that young age, he knew how to up that gun and use it.
Absolutely.
He done it before.
Absolutely.
You got any new comments?
I think some people checking in.
Okay.
You got a car?
This is Olivia Arnold. She always checking in. Shalom, how was Shamar Lataba Shemi Al-Shah?
Cali?
California.
Hey, tell Olivia to leave her sister's what was that she said she her easy bake oven. She said she broke her sister's easy bake oven earlier.
He was on the cost of war, if you want.
Let's grab the next article. Grab the I always like this one. Grab that Oklahoma City bombing.
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, that's a famous man. Yeah, I mean, very famous man. If you could have hop on, read that scripture while we're waiting. While Car pulls that up.
Khan, I don't want Khan, sir. This is Isaiah chapter 35 and verse 5.
Ezekiel 35.
All right. Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Now think about, what those officers did to Tamir Rice, right? Think about, how they've always mistreated and abused us. You have over 90 million blacks and over 70 million Native Americans that these people have unalived. You got the abortion clinics that they put in, every neighborhood to this day. Like the death toll that these people have racked up is insane. Keep reading.
It says, and the time of their iniquity had an end.
Keep going.
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, thou hast not hated blood, either blood shall pursue thee.
Now that's the key point I wanted to get, is that Esau, the biblical name for Europeans, they do not hate blood. They love it. They love shedding blood. They absolutely love it. And when you go through history, if you look at the history of Europeans, you will see all the wars that they have waged on this earth. You go back to the time of the Romans and the Greeks, going around conquering the whole known world at the time, as they call it. You know how many people these people have unalived over and over and over, and they'll show it in their movies. The pride that they have and all the wars that they won. You know what I mean? Like, they have gone around, like, they are a literal virus. I don't have a word to describe, how blood hungry these people are. The numbers speak for itself. And we really have to get out of our minds that these are some peaceful, holy people. We have to get it out of our minds that these are people that can teach us morals and integrity. Like, they're the people that gave you Christianity as they're sexually assaulting your women. They're giving you morality, as they're doing lines of cocaine. They're giving you morality as they're setting up strip clubs in every corner of America. As they're going around, murdering over 900,000 people in Pakistan or Afghanistan, unaliving entire cities, dropping nuclear bombs in Japan. These are the people that are going to teach you morals? Are you out of your mind? These are the people that are going to teach you to be upright and upstanding before the Most High? They're sitting there, they got Catholic priests and Catholic nuns in residential schools molesting you, sexually abusing you, physically abusing you. They found fucking electric chairs inside of these elementary schools.
Yes, sir.
And they got a cross around their neck, priest, whatever, McCully, whatever his name is, whatever Polish or Russian name he has. And he's supposed to teach you morality. It's absolute insanity.
Can I ask something, sir?
Come.
Think about this. How can a people teach you morality and dignity that suck baby penises inside the synagogue?
Yeah, that's wild.
And then after he take his mouth off of that baby penis, he has earned the right in this world to say he is the lineage that you are. So he stole your identity and kiss a baby penis and say, you know what? I'm the man of the Lord. I'm the man of the God. I am the children of God. Right? When the Bible that we read tell us that homosexuality is a sin, it's an abomination. So understand these babies are contracting these little small head babies are contracting herpes because their parents pull their underwear down and put them in front of a priest. What they call they priests? What they call them? Rabbi.
Okay.
So your mother and father put you in front of a rabbi, pull your pants down. He kisses you on your Johnson, and next thing you know, you got bumps the rest of your life.
Dang.
Because your mother and your father think it's great for you to be molested at such a young age.
Dang.
Because they don't read scripture and they have stolen someone's identity.
Mm-hmm. Con, I'm pulling up a verse really quick, and I'm gonna read something.
Well, why you working on that? You mind if I take a shot at something?
Con, go ahead.
And with all the things that we mentioned and all the wars that we talked about that's going on, and these, like the Oklahoma bombing was just an attack on Esau, on his own people, right? So not only do you destroy us, he will destroy his own people. Therefore, this is why the Lord said this in Isaiah 14:21. He said, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So that's why the Lord is going to destroy them, black man, Native American man, Hispanic man. Once you get yourself in this truth, we need you to come into this truth. We want you to come into this truth, right? So that you can understand why you're getting your ass whooped out here in this world. So you'll know who's your enemy. You got to know who your enemy is, because the Lord, think about this. If God loves everybody, why does he say prepare slaughter for the children of the iniquities for their fathers, of their fathers? So if he loves everybody, who is going to be slaughtered?
Let me read this,
please.
This is the Oxford quick reference definition of a serial killer.
Do I have a picture?
Car can pull one up. You know what I mean? A European man in a business suit and tie. It says, this is a serial killer, a murderer who repeatedly commits the same offense, typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. Now, let me ask you this, Ahabawan. If you were just looking at the pattern, the behavioral pattern of Europeans' history, would it not be safe to say that they are going to unalive another million people?
You only say a million? Just a million?
90 million blacks, 70 million Native Americans, 1 million Pakistans or Afghanistans, hundreds of thousands of Japanese, arming little sailor boats in Venezuela. Like,
look, they easily bumped off 250,000 people in the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's a quick 250,000 right there.
Really think of the pattern, the behavioral pattern of Europeans. You cannot come to the conclusion. You could be in the first grade and your teacher's teaching you patterns. You just want to follow the pattern, follow the dots. Europeans are going to commit genocide on a people again.
Yes, they are.
It's going to happen. History proves it. And not just history, like the Bible, King Solomon, one of the wisest men to ever walk this earth, he told us this thousands of years ago. The book of Ecclesiastes, it says there's no new thing under the sun. That which is named already has been named, and it is man. I'm paraphrasing. Because our spirits recycle on this earth.
Yes, sir.
The spirit of the white man, is constantly being recycled on this earth. It's called reincarnation. And these people have shown you who they are. They've shown you historically that they rape or select, they sexually assault. They're going to commit genocide. They're going to commit whoredom. They're going to lie and deceive people.
Mm-hmm.
Have you think that they're the people of integrity, the standard of integrity? Meanwhile, dumping drugs in your neighborhood. That's the pattern of these people.
So, sir, can we say that drug dealers and serial killers wear suit and ties?
Absolutely. That's their history. Look at the Italian mob, the Italian mafia.
Yes, sir.
How many hundreds of thousands of people they've unalived. Look at biker gangs. Look at the KKK. Look at every European organization. They are a murderous race of people. That's their history. And to think anything else is just foolish. Right? If you could, grab and then we'll get into that. We'll get into that article. Grab what is that? Job. Let's see if I pull it up. Job 9 and verse 24.
I'll grab that for you real quick.
Come.
You said Job 9 and 24. I was looking at something and I wanted to see the numbers too. So I really want to just free them up just a second. You said Job or Job?
Job.
Job 9 and 24. Job 9 and 24.
Come.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked.
$1 million question, Ahabawan. Who runs the earth today?
I would have to say the white man, sir.
The earth is given to the hands of the wicked.
Yes, sir. Who runs the United States right now? Who runs Russia? Who runs Ukraine? The same devil.
They got warships on the coast of Venezuela as we speak. Why? Because they run the earth. They go where they want, Ahabawan.
Yes.
You thought you had your whole country and you were safe behind your military and whatever it may be. The U.S., they just come in. The white man just comes in and plops his boat on your shores.
So, if I may, sir,
come.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What's that?
Eminent domain.
Right.
That's what they use against us in Central Park. And for Lake Lanier, right? Think about it. Lake Lanier was a black community. Black Bottoms, yep, the same way. Lake Lanier was a black community that was a thriving black community. Understand, in those times, in order for a black person to be able to vote, not saying voting is worth, going out and doing it, but what I'm saying, in order so that you could vote, you had to own property, right? These black folk that was in Seneca Village, what was Lake Lanier before? I can't remember the name of the city, but the great thing about Lake Lanier is that hundreds of our oppressors drown right there every year. Hundreds of our oppressors drown in that lake every year. Right? Understand, they if you go down to the bottom of Lake Lanier, you'll see the different cities and they still have remnant. Oscarville, that's what it was. You still have remnants of our people down there. You got signs of cemeteries down there, and they flooded it so they can go boating.
Let's
prepare slaughter.
Okay.
That's what the scriptures say. Prepare slaughter.
Let's grab that other article Car has up. I got something else I want to pull up.
You want the Oklahoma City bombing?
Come.
Oklahoma City bombing, and this is the FBI.gov. On the morning of April 19, 1995, an ex-Army soldier and a security guard named Timothy McVeigh parked a rented Ryder truck in front of the Alfred P. Murray Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma.
If I may, sir.
Come.
Think about this. Timothy McVeigh was not only a security guard, so he was in charge of protecting people. He is an ex-Army soldier. So he was trained by this American government to protect people. And this is how he protect people. By parking a van outside a federal building loaded with explosives. Kahar?
It says he was about to commit mass murder. Inside the vehicle was a powerful bomb made of a deadly cocktail of agricultural fertilizer, diesel fuel, and other chemicals.
Blessed with the sword, the white man can weaponize anything.
Right.
McVeigh got out, locked the door, and headed towards his gateway car. He ignited one time fuse, then another.
Unlike the Arab, he is not a suicide bomber. Keep going.
At precisely 9:02 a.m., the bomb exploded. Within minutes, the surrounding area looked like a war zone. A third of the building had been reduced to rubble, with many floors flattened like pancakes. Dozens of cars were incinerated. More than 300 nearby buildings were damaged or destroyed.
If I may, sir.
God.
Do you know where Timothy McVeigh was from?
Law.
Michigan.
Good night. Yeah, I Salakia, I see those white people from Michigan are a little violent.
Yeah, hey, them individuals, they a little violent.
God, Salakia, it's a lot of those militia type whites up here.
Them 3Ks.
Yeah, and them KKK out in Holland. They're everywhere.
Yep.
God. Yeah, I saw them. I saw them downtown with their Nazi flags, downtown Detroit, in front of that theater that was playing. What's that bitch's name? Anne Frank. They had an Anne Frank video downtown Detroit, and those Nazi, whatever you call them, those white Nazi boys were out there with them flags. 2025. Man. Yeah, I see them up in Michigan.
I wonder what they charged him for that Ryder truck that he blew up.
It says the human toll was still more devastating. 168 souls lost, including 19 children, with several hundred more injured.
I think up to 800 people, well, it's either 600 or 800 people were injured in this bombing. That is white on white crime. Not this, now, some of our people were hurt in this bombing too, but he wasn't looking to go and hurt our people exclusively. He wanted to knock out as many people as he could.
Yeah.
It says it was the worst act of homegrown terrorism in the nation's history.
Say that again.
It was the worst act of homegrown terrorism in the nation's history.
I thought black people were terrorizing the inner cities.
Mm-mm.
Isn't that what they say about us? We're just destroying all the inner cities in Chicago and New York. We're such uncivilized people, destroying this nation.
Hey, Salaki, if I may.
Go ahead.
What's so diabolical about that is like, this don't even compare to the decades of terrorism that blacks, natives, and Hispanics had to deal with white people.
Damn right.
So the card is the worst act of homegrown terrorism when this entire country was built on homegrown terrorism.
77 million.
His words were smoother than butter, Car. And we always got to remember that as a people, right? That's how we tear down these imaginations. You know what I mean? Like we've been, some of us brothers, we didn't grow up in the truth. You know what I mean? We didn't grow up with the knowledge of the Bible, the knowledge of our ancestors, all the prophets. You know what I mean? We didn't know that his words were smoother than butter. That's why we accept certain stereotypes. You know what I mean? We accept certain things we saw on BET.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, these people are absolutely terrorizing the planet Earth.
If I may, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
And what's so heavy about you saying his words are smoother than butter, right? Understand this: during the Red Summer, hundreds of black people were laid out in the streets across America. They didn't call that a terrorist act of homegrown terrorist act, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma, hundreds of black people were unalived and had to flee from their homes, not to be unalived. They didn't call that a homegrown terrorist act. The row houses of 85 in Philly. Right? Police dropped bombs and destroyed city blocks. Right? One bomb. Well, how many ever bombs they dropped? Destroyed on one house and destroyed city blocks in the black neighborhood. They never called that a homegrown terrorist act. Right? But in Las Vegas, when you had that dude shooting out the window at remember at the concert, the guy was firing out the window of a hotel, right? It started with an M, Millennium Bay, one of those hotels in Vegas. Fire out the window, and unalived people coming from a country music concert, right? Guess what? That's a terrorist act.
Hey, Sly, one sec, please. Kaar, if you could check the private chat and pull up an article on Ryan Wedding. Slacky, go ahead, Arbor.
Understand this is that I don't even know. I know that Mississippi just recently abolished slavery, right? I'm gonna have to pull that article, probably pull that next week. But understand this is that I don't know when the 3/5 compromise was that ever resolved? Because was it resolved with the 14th Amendment? I'm not sure. I have to look into it. But if that's the case, if it wasn't, the reason why they're not calling these terrorist acts because of, they were only killing 3/5 of people. They weren't killing people.
You want that article on Ryan Wedding?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask a question. Before Kaar reads that. Ahabawan, why is Donald Trump bombing Venezuelan ships?
He ain't did nothing to Canada. Oh, my bad, you there. Don't do nothing to Canada.
Do you know who Ryan Wedding is?
That was that skater who turned dope band.
He's a snowboarder, some shit like that.
Yep. He was Olympian. Snowboarder, okay.
Go ahead and read that, Car.
So New York Times, it says, from an Olympic snowboarder to an accused drug kingpin and killer.
Pause. He said accused.
Accused.
You never look. Think about that devil is always innocent until proven guilty. When your black ass is guilty, and we don't care if you're innocent.
Man, Salaki, I'm seeing the title right there. That is such a beautiful introduction. Please read that, Car.
God, it says from an Olympic snowboarder.
Salaki, you're low, priest.
Salaki, it says from an Olympic snowboarder to an accused drug kingpin and killer.
Keep going.
Ryan Redding rose to fame as a Canadian Olympic athlete.
Canadian Olympic athlete. So there's one of the people we look up to. Right? So the great white hope. Right? Keep going.
But the authorities say he became one of the world's biggest drug lords.
One of the what?
World's biggest drug lords.
If I may, sir.
World's biggest drug lords.
World's biggest drug lords.
If I may, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
So understand, like this ain't no Big Meech or Frank Lucas. You know, no. What's his name? El Chapo. He said the world's biggest drug lord, right? The world's. Think who? Big Meech was arrested and locked up. Frank Lucas was arrested and locked up. El Chapo was unalived. Think about other big dope dealers.
Right.
What's his El Jefe? What they do to him? They lock our people up or they unalive them.
God. Did they got a picture of this devil?
That's what I'm trying to see live. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
He got on shades though. He got on glasses.
They got him looking, all glorious.
Yes. Where is this dude's? Where is his lineup photo?
Now let me ask a question. Does he look like a thug?
Yes, to me. He looks like a serial killer to me, sir.
Right, because the UPK casts down imaginations.
Damn right.
In the world, you would never believe that this is the world's largest drug dealer. Come on, man.
Wait. Look how much, 15 million?
That's the image of a devil. This is the epitome of a drug dealer. That's what he looks like.
Go back up.
Go back up to that image.
You know who he looked like in the picture to the left? The picture to the left. He looks like that actor, the one that makes all the funny movies. Made the movie.
Adam, the Jewish one.
Yeah, the Jewish one. That's what he looks like.
What? Adam Sandler. Is that Adam Sandler?
No, I'm thinking the other one that he made that Sausage Party movie. He wrote it. Seth Rogen. Yep. He looks like Seth Rogen. So you know what? I don't trust Seth Rogen no more either.
And you should not. You should not. Like, you should teach your children this.
Damn right.
This world might be a little safer if we start stereotyping white people.
I must agree with you on that, sir. You know, that's heavy what you're saying, because think about it. We've today in today's class, we've showed terrorists, we've showed criminals, we've showed not just arsonists and home invaders and capitalist invaders, but we've showed thugs, and they all have one thing in common. And those thugs that we've shown look like the same people that's in the White House.
Oh.
look like the same people that run the police station, look like the same people that's over the Army and the Navy and the Marines. It look like those same people. Think about this. They just, the American government just fired, was it 200 black generals or something like that? Like 100 black generals or something like that? Some crazy number of black generals was just terminated. Right? And guess what? That guy right there don't look like those generals that was terminated. They don't look like the women that was fired from the from government facilities. Right? That guy right there don't look like he was first hired and last fired. Right? Well, he was more of the first fired, the last hired. Right? He don't look like one of us. Yet still, they got a couple mil on his head. Right? Black people be going around, talking about, with the rappers always talking about they put some money on my head. It'd be like $15. This dude got a $15 million bounty, right? And this is only for the information leading to his arrest. Right? Just tell us where he at, we'll give you $15 million. I wish I knew where he was at. I'd drag his ass to the police station, like, here. The same thing they talking about, what was IUIC talking about? He'll take that $2,000 because the dude had a warrant for his arrest and give it to his nation. See, go after this guy. Go get him. Y'all police. You put $15 million in your church. Get him, boys.
And I was looking for, just as we were looking at this, I remember reading an article. If there's time, maybe Kara could pull it up. But it's like, as I'm looking at this, I remember seeing when Trump put all those wanted posters of Mexicans in front of the White House, saying how, the Mexicans are the criminals.
And then he said there was some bad hombres.
Right. It's like, you got Europeans, down on record as being the largest, drug kingpins on the earth. And you don't see one image of them. And as I'm thinking about that, I remember reading an article where it said France was the largest importer of cocaine. And I remember thinking, like, so not only are Europeans the biggest drug lords, but they're the largest consumers of cocaine. Like, they're the biggest drug addicts on the earth.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Hey, sir, you know what? Why you haven't heard of this dude in none of these rap songs that glorify drug lords?
God.
You got what's his name? Rick Ross talking about, was that Rick Ross there? I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover. You ain't say nothing about Ricky over here. What's his name? What was his name? Ryan Witter. I ain't heard one rap song talk about moving dope like Ryan Ritter.
Right. And understand that Ryan Wedding was good at his job.
Ryan James Wedding.
Like, he was a good drug dealer. That's why he made so much money.
You know what that reminds me of, sir? No. What's the name of the movie? Was it when Will Ferrell, right? He said if he was a dope dealer, he'd be a good dope dealer, right? He said he'd be one of the good ones. He wouldn't be one of these angry dope dealers. He'd be a good dope dealer. What's a good dope dealer? What's a good dope dealer? One that don't kill. You can't say you don't kill because you got to keep your territory, and you also have to provide dope. Drugs kill. Ryan James Wedding. Israel, remember that name. Next time you make a rap song about selling dope. Big Meech and Larry Hoover and,
you got nothing.
Castro and not Castro, El Chapo. They don't got nothing on Ryan James' wedding. None of them had a $15 million reward for information about his capture. Now, understand this dude was an Olympian, so he probably a big guy. He probably about 6'5" or something like that. All his pictures he's sitting down or leaned over and stuff like that. This probably one of them big cornbread fed boys. Right. You got to do something witty. What did I say right there? Mr. Wedding did what?
Mr. Wedding's organization grew to eventually generate more than $1 billion in illegal drug proceeds a year.
What is the first two words in this sentence? Mr. Wedding's organization is the first three. Mr. Wedding. They put respect on his name. You see? They respect Mr. Wedding. When you do something, they call you by your last name. They don't call you Mr. though.
That's that pride, Habon.
Yes. This dude is a serial drug dealer and killer because they said that he is accused. You see how that softens the sentence? He's accused, right, of selling drugs to unaliving people. Mr. Wedding. They use these softeners. Understand, there's certain words that are softener. It's psychological. There's certain words that are softeners in sentences to bring down the what's it called for her? Come on, you're smarter than me. Bring down the it's like rough and rude and intensity. Bring down the intensity of the subject matter.
So, like I was just gonna say, if I may, I was just gonna say, it's no way. It says he was the largest cocaine distributor in Canada. Like, it's no way from Colombia to America to Canada, they don't know where this cocaine come from and where he at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just probably something he did where they finally decided to cut ties with him. But man.
They arrested white boy Rick when they didn't no longer needed him. That's another white boy drug dealer, sir.
Yeah, we got to wake up, Israel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, we really got to wake up, and get inside these classes under commanding General Yohana. Learn who we are. What it means to be an Israelite. Learn how valuable our culture is. You know what I mean? Like the Bible tells us, not to be murderers, not to steal a man, not to be, human traffickers. It says, suffer not a drug dealer to live.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like these laws are very valuable. Our culture is very valuable. You know what I mean? This European man, he couldn't understand morals if it slapped him in the face. You know what I mean? Has no integrity at all. That's why he's capable of bombing little children. He's capable of that. Capable of bombing, unaliving women and children, committing mass genocide on the earth. Right? Like it says in John 8:44, he was a murderer from the beginning.
From the beginning.
It's what he does. Right? Esau gave him the blessing of the sword. It says that Esau lives by the sword. It's what he lives by. That's his code of ethics, to live by the sword. You step on my shoe, I'll unalive your entire family.
Your neighborhood.
Right? That's what he does. Right? So is that anybody else want to say anything?
I got something. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to these classes. We are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, starting 125th Street, 1 West. And what we do and what we will continue to do in our history class that we teach down here on Monday night. What's the address of the school card? 16134 Moross, right? New school address, 16134 Maross, right? Come out to the class tomorrow. Got a treat for you. Captain Adariala will be teaching the scripture breakdown class every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Shalom, 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 Israel.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're